back, and today we're going to be doing numbers 12, 11, and 10 of our Amazing Race winner rankings.
Do you believe this? We are heading almost into the top 10. And by the
Oh
time
my
we're done
gosh.
here today, we will be on number 10.
Yeah. Number 9, really.
That's true, number 9. You're always better at math than I am. Let's get to number 12.
Number 12, Bates and Anthony. They won season 22 and 5 legs.
Bates and Anthony, this is just a great story. You know, two hockey brothers, good guys, fun, strong, just a fun team to watch.
Yeah. Max and Katie, who were fellow competitors on that season, won 3 legs at the end, like very end, the last 3 legs of the whole race. But Bates and Anthony still beat them.
Yeah, it was really interesting because Bates and Anthony pretty much were dominating the season for a long way. But then toward the end, like you said, Max and Katie just like turned it on and won 3 straight legs.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were just going to cruise to victory.
Yeah.
But then Bates and Anthony sort of returned to form in the final leg and ended up winning it all.
Yeah. There was this really cool challenge in the final leg which involved like spies and secret codes and secret messages and briefcases and limos. It was really cool.
It was really fun. It's just something different than they'd ever done before.
Yeah.
In any challenge, and especially for a final challenge, final leg challenge. And so it was just really, they did something really creative, and it was fun to watch, and turned out really well, I thought.
And the final challenge was this ball pit challenge, which we've also never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, they just did a great job in the final leg of this season coming up with new novel twists for the final challenges. And so in this one, they had go into a ball pit and then throw out little globes, right?
Yeah.
And then they had to put the globes in order, basically, of where they had gone in terms of the race. And Bates and Anthony ended up finishing that first.
Yes. They did have a flirtation with the country singers Caroline and Jennifer, but they never let that distract them from the race, which is always good to see.
Right. So they didn't fall into the trap that some teams do, where they start a flirtation with a team and then get distracted, and then ended up losing the race. And but they didn't. They had fun, but when it came time to race, they stayed focused and ended up winning.
Yes. They were really, really nice.
Yeah, they're just one of the nicest teams, I think, in all of the race. They had a great relationship with each other, got along really well, and just were a really good team. And they didn't have front teeth either. Do you remember that? They could take their front teeth out because they were hockey players, and that they were the first team without front teeth to win the race.
So that's a first.
That's another first.
Yeah. Number 11, we have Chris and Alex. They won season 2 and 3 legs.
Okay. Now they're getting really good now, right?
Yeah.
The teams are getting really good. Chris and Alex from season 2. Season 2 is one of the best seasons of all time. And it's a season that gets better every time you rewatch it. So I recommend doing a season 2 rewatch whenever you can, because it really holds up.
If you haven't watched it yet, watch it right now.
Right this second.
Yes. Leave.
We'll wait.
We will wait.
No, actually, we're going to keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go. So Chris and Alex, let's talk about them.
Yeah, so they did get 2 non-limbs, but one of them was the one right before the finale, which is usually a placing leg for some reason.
Yeah, so they're not like the best winning team ever. They only won 3 legs, and they had a couple of non-limbs. But you're right. You know, for a while they were doing these like placement non-limbs right before the final leg.
Yeah.
They don't really mean anything.
Yeah.
And so those don't really, I think, matter as much as earlier non-limbs.
Mm-hmm. They had a rivalry with Will from Will and Tara, but not with Tara, because Tara and Alex had a very adorable showmance.
Right, so this was really a lot of the season was Chris and Alex and Will and Tara.
Yeah.
It was really kind of their season with a few exceptions, and a really great rivalry. But also, yes, the Alex and Tara showmance.
Yes.
Which caused a lot of friction between those two teams, caused Will to descend into madness as the race continued on. It was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, it was just incredible.
And it led to a classic line. I think I'm gonna have to steal his girl.
Yes.
Said in a great Alex Boston accent.
Yeah, and another iconic line by Chris. It's hammer time.
Hammer time. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a very strong, very even win-wise season with Tara and Will, Blake and Paige, who were really nice, fun. They had a great relationship. Blake was actually the founder of Tom's Shoes, you guys.
If you haven't guessed, Blake and Paige are one of
I love Blake and
Fiona's
Paige.
favorite teams of all time.
Yeah, and they're awesome. Oswald and Danny,
Another great iconic team.
who went shopping in Hong Kong during one of the legs, got a great flight that same leg, won the leg. They're amazing.
Still one of the most amazing legs of all time.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Oswald.
No.
Gary and Dave too are also another fun team
Yeah.
and good team that Chris and Alex beat.
Mhm.
And Gary and Dave have had an intense, great rivalry with Chris and Alex.
Very, very double-sided.
Only in their mind, actually. they wanted to have this great rivalry, but they really didn't. But they were
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yes. One thing that was kind of iffy about one of Chris and Alex's leg wins is they did a fast forward, which was just eating a very small meat pie.
It may be the easiest and probably most delicious fast forward ever. It really didn't seem like it was any challenge
Yeah.
at all, and was just kind of a free first place for the boys, and also giving them some chance to get some food in them and
Mhm.
make them even stronger.
Yeah. So not sure about that. I had to talk about this moment. I know it's not about Chris and Alex, but
But it's the final leg, so it's
yeah,
important.
and there were so many good moments in this season. So, Will did this one roadblock where you have to like hammer a ice sphere that has a clue inside, and you have to get the clue. But they had a lot of different tools to do that, and he decided to use a blowtorch.
And which was hilarious because everyone else was basically just using a hammer and chisel
Yeah.
and getting through it fairly quickly. Will decided he was going to try using every tool that was provided to him by the Amazing Race production team. And the most hilarious when he was like futilely trying to melt this giant ice sphere with a blowtorch. But
Yeah.
no, that's Will. That's why we love him.
Yeah. Chris and Alex did pass up Will and Tara at the finish line, which is probably the most iconic win of all Amazing Race history.
It is the closest finish in Amazing Race history.
Yeah.
And literally, they passed up Will and Tara running to the finish line, and you could actually watch it on film as it was being filmed.
Right here.
Which was a spectacular ending
Yeah.
to that season. So season 2 is just a great season.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the top 2 teams who were the closest teams of all time. It was the entire top 3 was the closest finish of all Amazing Race history.
You're just standing up for Blake and Paige a
I
little bit more.
love Blake and Paige.
Finished third, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no coincidence there. All right. Before we talk about Blake and Paige more, let's move on to number 10.
Rachel and Dave. They won season 20 and 8 legs.
8 legs? We've never said 8 legs before. Why is that?
Because they have won the most legs of any Amazing Race team in history.
That's right, season 20, and they still hold that record for the
Yes.
most legs won in a race. The most dominant team probably in any season of the Amazing Race.
Yeah. Their race average was just incredible. It was just spectacular.
It was amazing. It was like 1 point something something, which
Yeah.
you just never see that kind of race average. They were just really very impressive, powerful, strong, efficient team.
Mm-hmm. Rachel did do more roadblocks than Dave, which we've talked about a lot. We always love to see that.
I always love to see that, like with TK and Rachel and
Mhm.
Amy and Jason, and now with Rachel and Dave. So the strongest team of all time in terms of race ability. The female member did most of the roadblocks,
Yes.
which is what we love to see.
Yeah. From what the edit showed, Dave was very annoying.
Yeah, so you could probably ask us, why are they ranked 10th when they are the record holders and have one of the strongest teams in terms of race ability? Well, the other factors, watchability and likability. Dave really drags the whole team down, and it really was Dave. Rachel was really great.
Yeah, I love Rachel.
And a great competitor, but Dave was just too negative, and just like I said, just really brings the whole team down as far as their ranking.
Yeah. They were from Madison, Wisconsin, though,
Woo!
so we always love that.
That's right here, Wisconsin Badgers. First season of college football. Go Badgers! They won. All right.
Woo! Only 2 other teams that season won legs.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So it was Art and JJ who won 3 legs, like one after the other. And we thought,
at the beginning.
They're going to be a major rival for Rachel and Dave, but then they weren't. They didn't win any other ones. And then, of course, Bopper and Mark, the beloved Bopper and Mark, won a leg as well. So that was great to see.
Yeah. They skipped the final challenge, went to the finish line, and then had to go back and do it, and they still won.
So that's how good they were, and how much ahead that they often were of the other teams. They had a major stumble in the very end of the race, and ended up still being able to go back, retrace their steps, and still win the race.
Yeah.
It was pretty incredible.
And at least one of the other teams was already at the final challenge and had been doing it for a while when Rachel and Dave got there.
Right. Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah. The negativity this season was not fun to watch at all, with Dave, like we said, and then Art and JJ, Vanessa and Ralph, and then people hating on Brendan and Rachel.
Right, so as iconic as this season is, with the Rachel and Dave performance and the 8-leg wins, it's not the most fun season to watch.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to watch at times because of some of the negative teams. So that kind of is unfortunate because of the great performance that kind of gets obscured by that.
Yeah. Yeah, so as we said, they still hold the record and they have the best raceability of any team.
Yeah, I don't think you can deny it. I mean, you can't really make an argument against it.
Yeah.
And that raceability is why they end up in our top 10.
Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for watching. Post in the comments what you thought about these. If one of them should be ranked last, if one of them should be ranked number 1, say that. We are getting into the top 10, you guys.
We are
so
inside the top 10.
Stay tuned to see who we rank as number 1.
We have great teams, fun teams, teams that are a combination of both. These next 9 teams are going to be fun to talk about.
Oh yeah. So bye guys, see you next week.
See you next time.
Hey y'all, we're back. And today we're going to be doing numbers 12, 11, and 10 of our Amazing Race winner rankings.
All right, let's start with Bates and Anthony.
Yes, number 12. They won season 5 and 22 legs. Wait.
They won 22 legs.
That's...
Bates and Anthony are a good team, but they're not that good.
Cut!
22 legs.